Lesson 47, this is just an expansion of a couple things that we've learned. First one is more unit conversions. This one says 42 inches per second to miles per hour. We've got to convert that. First of all, the word per always means division sign. So if I say 42 inches per second, that'd be like writing 42 inches per second. And we got to convert to miles per hour. Miles per hour. So what we do here is we're going to have to convert the inches to miles, because that's a measurement, and then the seconds to hours, because that's a time. So let's see. Let's convert seconds to hours first. Let's start there. So what we need to do is multiply. Do you know how many seconds are in an hour? No, I do not off the top of my head. You could probably figure it out. But you do know how many seconds are in a minute. We know 60 seconds are in 1 minute. We write it seconds on top because then those cancel. Now we're at 1 minute. Now we got to get from minutes to hours. Well, we know that 60 minutes are in an hour. Now the minutes cancel. And now, in the end, we want it to look like miles per hour. We got hours on the bottom. That's what we're trying to get to right here. We got hours on the bottom. Now we got to get miles on top. And we're at inches. So we keep multiplying. Anyone know how many inches in a mile? No. But we do know how many inches in a foot. 12 inches in 1 foot. We need inches on bottom, feet on top, so therefore 1 foot, 12 inches. How many inches are in a, the inches cancel out. How many feet are in a mile? 5,280 feet in 1 mile. Feet cross out. So and mile is now on top. So your answer would be 42 times 60 times 60 miles over what is in the denominator, 12 times 5,280 hours. So that would be your answer. You do not have to go any further. You don't have to multiply, divide, any of that. You can just leave it there. But that is converting. Let's look at one more. 47.2 wants 15 inches per second to yards per hour. So we start with 15 inches per second to miles per hour. Yards per hour, sorry. So let's go seconds to hours once again, like we did in the last one. 60 seconds in a minute. 60 minutes in an hour. So that's exactly what we did on the last one, so I did that pretty quick. So we're good there. We got hours on the bottom, just like we need. We're going to need yards per hour. So now we got to get inches to yards. Do you know how many inches are in a yard? You may know that it's actually 36. I'm going to go ahead and do the extra step though right now, in case you didn't know how many inches are in a yard. You do know how many inches are in a foot. There are 12 inches in 1 foot. And now most everyone knows how many feet are in a yard. There are 3 feet in 1 yard. Feet cross out, so now you're left with yards on top. If you're able to just know 36 inches in a yard, perfect. That's awesome, more power to you. You can take a shortcut, because 12 times 3 would be 36. If you're able to know that there's 3,600 seconds in an hour, you could write 3,600 seconds over 1 hour. You could do that. Either way, but I kind of did the long way here. So your answer would be 15 times 60 times 60 yards over 12 times 3 hours. And that's unit conversions, just taking it a step further with kind of that per sign. Let's look at 47.4. Cube root of 27 radical 3. Just like we did on the last lesson, we turned this, remember 3 square root of 3 equals 3 to the 1/2 power, so we turned this to 3 to the 1/2 power. So we got here. This one's different. This is a 27, okay? If we have 27 and 3 next to each other, that'd be like saying x and y. And so if we had x to the 5th, y to the 4th, we wouldn't be able to add those. We want to see if we can turn the number 27 to 3. Is there any way we can use that 3 correlates with the number 27? This is where you just kind of have to know your math, cubes and squares and whatnot. 3 cubed is the same as 27. So therefore, I'm going to write 3 cubed here because now I have a 3 and a 3, and in the end, those are going to be like terms to where we are going to be able to add exponents. So after this part, we converted the 27 to 3 cubed. Now we have the cube root, so we put it in brackets. That's a bracket. Cube root is to the 1/3 power, and we distribute. 1/3 to 3, or 1/3 times 3 is 1, so that would just be 3. 1/3 times 1/2 is 3 to the 1/6 power. So now we have 3 to the 1st power and 3 to the 1/6 power. Add those together, 1 over 1 plus 1 over 6 would be 6 over 6, so it would be 3 to 7 over 6 power. And one more example. Really the same thing. We got this problem. Convert the 2 to 1/2 power in parentheses. Took care of that. Can the 4 correlate to be a 2? Well, this one's actually probably easier to see. You're able to understand that 2 squared is the same thing as 4, and so now we have like terms with 2 2's. Put it in brackets because all of them are 6 rooted. So to the 1 over 6 power. Distribute 2 times 1/6 is 2/6. I'm going to go ahead and put 1/3 because that's reduced. 2 to the 1/2 times 1/6. 1/2 times 1/6 is 1/12. And now we add those together. 1 over 3 plus 1 over 12. Got to multiply this by 4. And you get 4 over 12, therefore 2 to the 5/12 power. And that concludes lesson 47.